In this video, I'm going to show you why getting fired was the best thing that could have happened and help advance my career. And also how I went from a stable paycheck to flying more than I ever did in the past 10 years. If you're stuck between playing it safe and taking a risk that you know you need to take and doing what God has gifted you to do, this video is for you. Long ago, whenever I was a young man, I got my pilot's license in 2006. It was a lot of fun flying back then, and I really did love it. But it was few and far between because even back then, if you can believe it, it was expensive. But if you fast forward almost 18 years, you get a totally different story. Not only do you need to fast forward 18 years, you need to fast forward through 15 years of marriage and 2 children. And as many of you probably know, those things have hefty price tags. Now, I'm not complaining. I love my family. That's exactly why I'm doing this YouTube channel, in the hopes that I will encourage many of you guys out there to become more intentional fathers and better husbands and overall better leaders and maybe even an entrepreneur like myself. But just like the rest of you guys, I was chasing a steady paycheck. That means that I clock in every morning at 7:30 and I leave at least by 5 o'clock, if not 5:30, 6 o'clock. Everything in between, working night shift, swing shift, factory work, office work, parts counters, the whole nine. I was doing everything right, but I was dying inside. The more I chased it, the more it pulled me away. Surely there's something better than this. So you start to look on job boards and you start to pull up the Indeeds, to pull up the ZipRecruiters, and the next thing you know, you're just drowning in other opportunities that look like the same thing that you're in. That is until one day I met a gentleman who was using drones to spray crops. But I just had to know more about this drone ag spraying industry. So I started to research, and the more I researched, the more I thought, man, this could be it. So I had 2 choices, either play it safe or go all in. And that's a terrifying prospect when you have a wife and 2 kids to provide for. So then I bought a drone, and I thought, well, if I'm gonna do this whole drone thing, I gotta start somewhere, and it looks like most people start their drone careers in real estate. So that's what I did. I did it the old-fashioned way. I cold called, I emailed, and I did it on my lunch breaks. I did it as soon as I got off every day. I was following up with emails, making phone calls, pleading with people to give me a chance, and I'll do it for cheap. And finally, a few took the offer that I made them, and it started to happen. I got $300 here, $400 here, $500 here, $700 here.
And we're on our way to do a project for a business friend of mine who owns a campground there. It's called the Do Drop In. What we're doing is we're shooting what's called a hero video.
I started to notice something though. This is not sustainable. This is 3 jobs with 2 kids and a wife. That's almost impossible to do long term. And that's the downside of taking on entrepreneurial side work to try to build your own business, is it comes with inherent risks. But now I'm reaching the point where it's reality. And now that it's reality, I'm second guessing everything. My work performance is supposed to be rendered unto God, not unto just who's watching at the moment. So I was giving my best every day at my full-time job, and it was real sacrifice. Because one day I come in and I start to do my job, but I notice things are a little different. I noticed that the behavior, the mannerisms are a little different in management. And then about 9:30 in the morning, the news came. I got called into the office. Hey, close the door behind you when you come in. That's never a good sign. You know it's either gonna be really good or really bad. The moment that I sat down, he said, this is the worst part of my job. I hate doing this. But it had to happen, not only for them, but for me. Let me ask you one question if you're in the same boat that I was in just a few months ago, and it's gonna be one that you're gonna have to answer. What's the cost of playing it safe? Trust me, nobody likes safety and security like me. I would rather have somebody else cut me a check and let me go home as long as I show up and clock in and do my job. Nothing could be more simple than that. Not easy, but simple. But with what I do, especially in the front end, you don't know. Literally living off of credit cards for the first month. I mean, it was terrifying. But there's a cost. There's a cost. Now I can actually look at and scale out and think this income level for me could actually be a reality. Some of it already is, and it's a number that I thought would never happen in my lifetime because I've never even remotely come close to that number in my lifetime. I never thought that doing what I'm doing with you right now would even be a possibility or on my bingo card for my life. But here's my encouragement to you dads, especially you dads. You're the leader, you're the shepherd of your home. Your family depends on you. And I'm gonna look you right in the eye. If you have a drive to do something that you know that you're good at and that people will pay good money for because it solves a real problem and serves people's needs, are you being obedient to the Lord, or are you burying your talents? So that's the two questions that I'm gonna leave you with. So if you're an entrepreneur or a dad or both, and you're looking to chase your calling without losing your family in the process, you need to subscribe. This is the channel for you. Speaking of flying, have you ever flown with the active noise reduction headsets? Have you ever looked at the price of the active noise reduction headsets? What if there was a way that you could just rent a headset? Maybe you just needed it for a couple days, or maybe you just need it for a month that you're gonna be doing some heavy flying. This is a wonderful service that Ethan and I both benefit from. Airplace USA has a great subscription rental service for headsets. Whether you just want a simple headset that just knocks the noise down a little bit, or if you want to go full headlong into the Bose A30s, or you want to be like the big boys and use the Bose ProFlight Series 2s. And it's real simple. All you have to do is pick out your headset, fill out the information, they send it straight to you, and when you're done, guess what? Just send it back. That's all you got to do. Use this code that you see on the screen, Pastor10 at checkout, to get your 10% off of your rental fee. It's an amazing service. All you have to do is go to airplaceusa.com, airplaceusa.com.